Hey, how's it going? Masterminds with Brian and Pam. Here's another training. I am super excited to be sharing this training with you. This is all going to be about the method of setting goals, how it's outlined in books like Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life, or even the classic Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So, there's some nuances that I've learned from having these goals for about a year now. So I'm going to use the example of, when you do this goal setting exercise, they kind of usually have the idea of a monetary amount because money represents, it's kind of like a placeholder for what we want our lifestyles to look like. So in this case, we're just going to say $1 million, but in books like Think and Grow Rich and Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life, they tell you to write down on a goal card, I am so happy and grateful now that I have $1 million, right? And it's framed in the present tense because, if you say I desire or I want $1 million, you're kind of putting this barrier between you and it. And really, to have the lifestyle that you want, or for you to have the things that you want in life, you have to act as if, you have to embody your brain chemistry needs to behave as if you have it, because you need to simulate it so that you can act out and behave as like someone that has it, and you will be attracting the opportunities and situations and circumstances that create this vision for your life into a reality, right? Because it's all about your brain chemistry being hooked up to that vision in real life. The life that you're living currently is brain chemistry being connected and creating these situations a lot of the time. So, one thing that I learned 1 year into doing this, as another part of the exercise, it doesn't have to be it, but I did find it to be extremely brilliant. So this is something that you can try out and see how it feels in your body, because that's what it's all about, right? So the two first steps in Think and Grow Rich is cultivate a burning desire for something, and then the second part is autosuggestion. So burning desire is declare what it is you want, right? And like, I'm so happy and grateful I have $1 million, right? And the second part is autosuggestion, which is the repetition of this goal. Fire your neurons over and over and over again as much as you can throughout your day to remind yourself of the goal that you're setting, of the direction you want your momentum to go in. And the reason why you do autosuggestion is because, when we have lofty goals, when we have these really big things we want to attract into our lives, one of the first challenges is our inability to really envision it like as if it's possible. Like our belief is what struggles. So what we can do to give us more opportunities to believe, so what we can do to give us more opportunities to continue to persist, which is another step, we need to repeat our vision over and over and over again. We need to get this picture stronger. This picture needs to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And the way that we do it is the same way that we do anything else, through muscle memory. So what we do is repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. It is through the repetition that you give yourself the opportunity to take that desire and set it ablaze, to make it a burning desire. The burning desire, which I don't really like the idea of burning, but that's what the masters talk about. So it's burning desire. But what I'm saying is, like, you want to give yourself the opportunity to actually feel this goal that you want, right? So now this is where I'm currently in my journey of practicing my goal affirmations, if you will. So I went from the idea of I'm so happy and grateful I have $1 million, right, as a placeholder, to I am so happy and grateful now that I have the skills and the systems for $1 million, right? Because the skills and the systems, that's what we're talking about. The biological system, the habit system, the organizational systems, the skills, the communication ability to communicate $1 million, the ability to provide $1 million service. Those are skills. So the skills and the systems, me being happy and grateful that I have those things, is this little nuance that showed up in my journey of just practicing these mental simulations. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys right now. I've never heard anybody talk about it really like that, but I do study, and one thing's for sure is that you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems and skill set. So what you want to do is raise your systems and skill sets to the point that you get it to where you want your goals to, where your goal is. So really take the time, envision that $1 million goal that you have in your head, right? Because there's two types of goal setting. There's the goal setting where you do it really quick, where it's like, I'm so happy and grateful I have $1 million. Then they have this thing called a vision script. And the vision script is where you write out everything in the present tense that you want your life to look like, or you want this particular event or thing to happen, right? And you keep it a little loose, but you put it in the direction that you want. Like envision the house that you want, envision the car that you drive, the clothes that you wear, the way that you talk. The vision script is designed so that you can create this vision. The shorter version of your goals, I'm so happy and grateful, is designed to be very simple and repeatable very quickly. So it's like the small, quick neuron, and then like the full brain engagement, let's say psychedelic trip that you can send yourself on if that's what you want in your imagination. So you have both those things. So you create both those things. One triggers the other, and then the other one is obviously with the other one. So they come together. So I want you to envision that goal, the way it looks like every single time that you say your affirmation, I'm so happy and grateful I have $1 million. But then make a quick little switch and be so happy and grateful that you have the skill set to be able to provide $1 million value, $1 million service. You have the character of $1 million person. Take some time to be happy and grateful that you have $1 million systems, because $1 million doesn't come just from one individual effort. More likely than not, it comes from a concert of people working together, and a good amount of organizational system. The systems is, so what a system is a step-by-step protocol that gives you a certain result. So, start to envision what those systems would look like. As you start to do these things, you actually end up building out that $1 million life that you work on every single day. There's way more practices in these books that we read, but, luckily enough, I'm so happy and grateful I'm able to take some time on this podcast, on this YouTube channel, to share at least a little bit. But definitely do your research. Continue to learn how to set your goals. Learn how to visualize your goals. Learn more and more nuances to the same fundamental practices. Because it's through these fundamental practices that as it gets stronger, as you get better at it, the likelihood of you getting what you want increases. So thank you so much for joining us today on the Masterminds Podcast YouTube channel. This has been another wonderful training. I am one half of the co-host of the Mastermind Podcast, and I'm going to give it away to Sam for the next video. I'll see you guys later.